Alright, let's see if this works.
Junk Shop Libraries Improv Bible Study. Are you ready for this?
Alrighty. Well, welcome everyone once again to the Junk Shop Library channel, home of Improv Bible Study, where we read every last word of the King James Version, the authorized version of 1611, that we may more justifiably mock the crap out of it. Now, before we plunge today into Deuteronomy 17, I've got to address a little technical weirdness that happened last time. Depending on how good your speakers were or how closely you were listening, during the improv section of the last chapter, chapter 16, you may have thought I was getting a little avant-garde or just plain screwing with you. And this is not the case. What had happened was I was recording the audio for chapter 16 when the video for chapter 15 finished processing, and as my computer has decided it is supposed to do now, for no apparent reason, started autoplaying 15 at full volume. And despite that was not only happening in the other room, but on another floor, yeah, I'm hanging on to this microphone, I tell you what. Now, of course, today we are having thunderstorms, so who knows what kind of audio weirdness you might get. It's Improv Bible Study, no second takes. You know, except for that one time. Longtime viewers will understand. New-time viewers, of which we've got a couple, I saw you sneak in there, Mr. I'm not going to try to pronounce your name, but number 21, welcome aboard. And so, let's see, formalities out of the way. Of course, like, subscribe, and all that. You'll be able to poke the Pope at the end of the video as usual. But for now, this intro is running entirely too long, so we'll go ahead and jump into the good book and see what old man Moses has in store for us today. Deuteronomy 17th chapter, verse 1 and following. Thou shalt not sacrifice unto the Lord thy God any bullock or sheep wherein is blemish, or any ill-favoredness, for that is an abomination unto the Lord thy God. If there be found among you, within any of thy gates which the Lord thy God giveth thee, man or woman that hath wrought wickedness in the sight of the Lord thy God in transgressing his covenant, and hath gone and served other gods and worshipped them, either the sun or the moon, or any of the host of heaven which I have not commanded, and it be told thee, and thou hast heard of it, and inquired diligently, and behold, it be true, and the thing certain, that such an abomination is wrought in Israel, then thou shalt bring forth that man or that woman which have committed that wicked thing unto thy gates, even that man or that woman, and shalt stone them with stones till they die. At the mouth of 2 witnesses or 3 witnesses shall he that is worthy of death be put to death, but at the mouth of 1 witness he shall not be put to death. The hands of the witnesses shall be first upon him to put him to death, and afterward the hands of all the people. So thou shalt put away the evil from among you. If there arise a matter too hard for thee in judgment, between blood and blood, between plea, and between stroke and stroke, being matters of controversy within thy gates, Then shalt thou arise and get thee up into the place which the Lord thy God shall choose. And thou shalt come unto the priests the Levites, and unto the judge that shall be in those days, and inquire, and they shall shew thee the sentence of judgment. And thou shalt do according to the sentence which they of that place which the Lord shall choose shall shew thee, and thou shalt observe to do according to all that they inform thee, according to the sentence of the law which they shall teach thee, and according to the judgment which they shall tell thee, thou shalt do. Thou shalt not decline from the sentence which they shall shew thee to the right hand, nor to the left. And the man that will do presumptuously, and will not hearken unto the priest that standeth to minister there before the Lord thy God, or unto the judge, even that man shall die, and thou shalt put away the evil from Israel. And all the people shall hear, and fear, and do no more presumptuously. When thou art come unto the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee, and shalt possess it, and shalt dwell therein, and shalt say, I will set a king over me, like as all the nations that are about me, thou shalt in any wise set him a king over thee, whom the Lord thy God shall choose. One from among thy brethren shalt thou set king over thee. Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother. But he shall not multiply horses to himself, nor cause the people to return to Egypt, to the end that he should multiply horses. For as much as the Lord hath said unto you, we shall henceforth return no more that way. Neither shall he multiply wives to himself, that his heart turn not away. Neither shall he greatly multiply to himself silver and gold. And it shall be, when he sitteth upon the throne of his kingdom, that he shall write him a copy of this law in a book out of that which is before the priests the Levites. And it shall be with him, and he shall read therein all the days of his life, that he may learn to fear the Lord his God, to keep all the words of this law and these statutes, to do them, that his heart be not lifted up above his brethren, and that he turn not aside from the commandment, to the right hand or to the left, to the end that he may prolong his days in the kingdom, he and his children in the midst of Israel. And there we have Deuteronomy 17. Well, that's a nice mixed bag for us, isn't it? Jeez. You know, for the last chapter to have just been yet another repetition of the calendar. This one got pretty Old Testament. I made the joke about the oven mitt last time, but I don't know, maybe I should start reading these ahead of time, because I should have used the oven mitt joke to introduce the last chapter. Although I'm sure there was plenty of face-palmy material here in 17 anyway. Alright, well, that aside. Okay, so what did we have? We had, don't sacrifice sick sheep, or sick, goats, or don't sacrifice anything sick, ugly, evil-favored. And yet again, don't worship anybody or anything except the Lord thy God. Not the sun, not the moon, nor any of the host of heaven, which I didn't say. So it's not that there's not other supernatural critters and powers and forces. It's just that you're only allowed to worship the Lord, the King of Jealousy. I mean heaven. Let's see. And then we went there from yet another repetition of that prohibition. Try saying that 5 times fast. Into stone him with stones till he die. As long as at least 2 people testify to it. So, make sure you only make one enemy and they don't have any friends, because the word of 2 witnesses that you've turned away in secret to follow other gods is good enough to get you taken to the edge of town and stoned with stones till you die. You gotta love the 1611 English, don't you? chase you as bees do, stone you with stones till you die. And then the explicit pronouncement that that's not so much punitive as make an example of tiv. That the people shall see and shall fear and shall act no more presumptuously. And then if you've got disputes that are too difficult for the secular authorities, Moses wants you to go to the Levites, to the blood cult that operates under the auspices of his homicidal older brother Aaron, he of the blooming rod, who will decide for you and tell you what to do, and you must obey whatever they say, otherwise you too get stoned with stones until you die. Oh, it's a lovely place to be alive, this land flowing with milk and honey and filled of the children of the loving God. Let's see. Oh yeah, and then he sets out instructions for how to have a king when Israel finally decides it's time to have a king, because he knows they will. That, of course, not having anything to do with this being written years and years and years after the fact, and in direct conflict of the story of was the story of Saul, or was it Saul? I don't know. It's over there in I think 1 Samuel. We'll get to it eventually if we survive the journey through the Pentateuch. But the story of the first king of Israel is the priestly ones get all mad because the people start demanding a king because of everybody else has one. And nobody makes mention of back in Deuteronomy when old man Moses says it's fine to have a king, just make sure he's one of y'all, and that he doesn't use the position to go back to Egypt and multiply unto himself horses and wives. And then make sure that your king reads the Bible every day so that he stays nice and indoctrinated. Focused on the laws of the fear of the invisible man up the magic mountain and his do nothing, blood splashing, offering heaving grandnephews by adoption. Oh, goodness gracious sakes alive. And that was all. That was all there was in 17. Only two death sentences, the 2 witness judicial murder, the how to set up a king, obey the priests at all costs, and make sure the king reads the Bible when you finally decide to have one. Yeah, that's all that happened in 17. Really, just could have skipped it. Not anything of any great interest there. Whew, lordy loo. Okay. Well, we will be back soon with chapter 18. Just at a glance, I saw the word necromancer. So, it's probably just a list of people you're supposed to stone with stones till they die. But we'll find out. Make sure you've hit the bell in the, as we've pointed out before, the increasingly rare event that the notifications function actually decides to work for you, you might get a notification when another one of these goes up. And if you've not joined our happy little band, Poke the Pope, as we say on the channel, to subscribe. Until we reconvene here, everybody take care, be safe, and stand against hate. Bye now.